There is a secret technique that only the top 1% of dating experts understand, and it is backed by decades of clinical psychology research. This method creates what neuroscientists call intermittent reinforcement, the same psychological mechanism that makes gambling so addictive. When you master this, you do not just attract people, you create an emotional dependency that makes them think about you constantly. The technique is called push-pull dynamics, and it hijacks the brain's reward system in ways most people never realize. In the next 10 minutes, I will show you the exact science behind why this works, how to decode when someone is lying about their attraction to you, and the specific body language signals that reveal their true intentions. This is not about manipulation. This is about understanding human psychology at its deepest level. Let me explain the neurochemistry first, because without this foundation, nothing else makes sense. When you give someone consistent attention and validation, their brain releases dopamine in predictable patterns. The problem is that predictability kills attraction. The human brain is wired to pursue rewards that are uncertain and variable, not guaranteed. This is why the honeymoon phase always ends, because consistency breeds comfort, not desire. Studies from behavioral psychology labs show that variable reward schedules create up to 300% more dopamine release than predictable ones. This is the biological truth behind why nice guys finish last. Their behavior is too predictable, and the brain stops releasing attraction chemicals. Now here's where it gets fascinating. The push-pull dynamic works by creating what psychologists call approach avoidance conflict. You alternate between giving someone emotional warmth and then withdrawing it strategically. This creates cognitive dissonance in their mind. They cannot predict your behavior, which forces their brain into obsessive analysis mode. Research from attachment theory shows that this pattern activates the anxious attachment system, even in people who are normally secure. Their prefrontal cortex starts working overtime trying to figure you out, which means they are thinking about you constantly. The key is that the push must be subtle enough to create doubt, but the pull must be strong enough to keep them engaged. This balance is everything. Let me show you what this looks like in real interactions. The push phase involves creating emotional space without being cruel or obvious about it. You might take slightly longer to respond to texts, be less available for plans, or show interest in other activities that do not involve them. The goal is to trigger their loss aversion instinct, a cognitive bias where humans fear losing something more than they desire gaining it. Studies show that loss aversion is approximately twice as powerful as the desire for gain. When someone senses they might be losing your attention, their brain releases stress hormones like cortisol, which paradoxically increases their attraction to you. This is the biological mechanism behind why people want what they cannot have. The pull phase is equally calculated. After creating that space, you re-engage with high-value attention that feels exclusive and meaningful. This is not about playing games. It is about strategic investment of your emotional energy. You might send a thoughtful message, make plans that show you remember details about them, or give genuine compliments that hit emotional triggers. The contrast between the push and pull creates what is called emotional amplitude, large swings in their emotional state that make normal interactions feel boring by comparison. Brain imaging studies show that this emotional variability activates the same neural circuits as cocaine use. You are essentially creating a neurochemical roller coaster that they become addicted to riding. But here is the critical part that most people miss. While you are using push-pull dynamics, you need to be able to decode whether they are actually attracted to you or just being polite. This is where body language micro-expressions become your most powerful tool. The human face has 43 muscles, and certain combinations reveal true emotions that last only fractions of a second before conscious control masks them. Research by Paul Ekman on facial coding shows that these micro-expressions are universal across cultures and cannot be faked. When someone is lying about their interest in you, their body will betray them in specific, measurable ways. Let me show you exactly what to look for. The first signal is pupil dilation. When someone is genuinely attracted to you, their pupils dilate involuntarily by 20 to 30%. This is an autonomic nervous system response they cannot control. If you're talking to someone and their pupils remain constricted or normal, their arousal level is low regardless of what they are saying. The second signal is the eyebrow flash, a rapid raising of the eyebrows that lasts about 1/6 of a second when they first see you. This is a universal sign of recognition and interest. If this is absent when you approach, their subconscious is not excited by your presence. Studies in nonverbal communication show these signals are accurate predictors of genuine interest in over 85% of observed interactions. Now let us talk about the mouth and jaw area, because this is where lies become most visible. When someone is genuinely smiling at you, the orbicularis oculi muscle contracts, creating wrinkles around the eyes called Duchenne markers. A fake smile only activates the zygomatic major muscle around the mouth. If their smile does not reach their eyes, they are being polite, not attracted. Additionally, watch for jaw tension. When people lie or feel uncomfortable, they unconsciously clench their jaw muscles, which you can see as subtle tension in the lower face. Research on deception detection shows that jaw tension combined with reduced eye contact has a 73% correlation with dishonesty. If someone claims they are interested but shows these signs, trust the biology, not the words. Body orientation is another critical factor that reveals true intentions. When someone is genuinely interested, their torso will naturally angle toward you, even if their feet are pointing elsewhere. This is called body pointing in kinesics research. The feet are the most honest part of the body because people rarely think to control them. If someone's feet are pointed away from you, toward an exit, or at another person while they are talking to you, their subconscious wants to leave, regardless of what they are saying. Additionally, watch for the hand-to-face barrier. When people touch their face, especially covering their mouth or rubbing their nose while speaking, it often indicates discomfort or deception. These are called adapter gestures, and they increase significantly during dishonest communication. Here is where we integrate everything into a practical system. When you apply push-pull dynamics, you create emotional uncertainty that triggers attraction. But while doing this, you simultaneously read their body language to calibrate your approach. If you push and they show genuine distress signals like increased pupil dilation, leaning forward, or trying to re-engage you, the technique is working. If you push and they show relief signals like relaxed shoulders, body turning away, or decreased eye contact, they were never that interested to begin with. This real-time biofeedback allows you to avoid wasting energy on people who are not genuinely attracted. The top 1% use this constant calibration to focus their efforts only on high-probability opportunities. Let me address the ethics of this, because I know what you are thinking. Is this manipulation? The answer is nuanced. Every human interaction involves influence and psychological dynamics, whether we acknowledge them or not. The question is whether you are using this knowledge to create mutually beneficial relationships or to exploit people. Psychological research shows that relationships with some uncertainty and variability are actually healthier and more satisfying long-term than completely predictable ones. The push-pull dynamic, when used ethically, prevents codependency and maintains individual identity within relationships. It is only toxic when the push becomes cruelty or the pull becomes manipulation. The goal is to create sustainable attraction, not emotional damage. Use this knowledge to build genuine connections with people who are right for you. Now let us talk about the advanced technique that separates masters from amateurs. The key is unpredictability within a framework of reliability. This might sound contradictory, but stay with me. You want to be unpredictable in your emotional availability and attention patterns. That is the push-pull. But you need to be completely reliable in your core values and integrity. That is the foundation that makes the uncertainty exciting rather than toxic. Think of it like a jazz musician. They improvise and create unexpected moments, but they never lose the underlying rhythm and structure. Research on relationship satisfaction shows that this combination creates optimal arousal, enough novelty to maintain dopamine release, but enough security to prevent anxious attachment spirals. This is the formula that creates lasting attraction rather than short-term infatuation. Here is your action plan to implement this immediately. First, audit your current behavior patterns. Are you too available, too predictable? Start creating small pushes by having your own life, hobbies, and priorities that exist independently of any romantic interest. Second, practice reading micro-expressions by watching people's faces during conversations. Start noticing the gap between what they say and what their bodies reveal. Third, implement variable reinforcement in your texting and availability patterns. Be warm and engaging sometimes, busy and distant other times. Fourth, always calibrate based on their body language responses. If someone is genuinely interested, these dynamics will increase their attraction. If they are not, you will know quickly and can redirect your energy. The science is clear. Psychology is not destiny, but it is powerful. Use these tools wisely, and you will see results that feel almost like magic, but are actually just applied neuroscience.